How are you?
Can you see me? I'm good, thank you. How
Yeah.
are you?
Hi, Robin. Everything's good. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
So nice to finally speak to you. I follow you on Instagram for quite some time. So
Thank you. How did the cycling concept come out? Why was this your?
it because I have looked at cycling clothes since the beginning of my MA. My
Hmm.
boyfriend at the time was a big cyclist, and I used to take his garments and his research garments and take the patterns off them. On a cycling garment, the shoulder seam is dropped down to here to allow the arm to go like this. So I just thought that that was just quite a simple, nice shape. So I began to look further into cycling clothes and how the shape is fit to make the body change position. And then more recently, I really love Rafa, the brand Rafa. I think their stuff is amazing. Their fabrics, their like the technicality of the finishings is amazing. And I've been a fan of their brand for quite some time. So then when before all of this, I messaged them and asked them, could I come up and have a look at their archive? And they invited me up. And then lockdown happened. So we worked closely together on a project with them for the first digital fashion week in London. They gave me all their surplus garments and their returns, so faulty zip or such and such. And then I reworked them into garments. So that's where the cycling thing kind of started. And then for this season, I was like, I want to continue it on, but obviously I don't have the ability or the manufacturing to do the exquisite level of finishings that they have. So I wanted to do a more playful side on it. So I didn't want to do it so literal, but I wanted to have that element in somehow into the clothes. So the clothes are all, nothing is cycling. They are all fashion. They're fashion garments. They're not built for cycling, but I wanted to bring that in some way. So I thought, how can I bring it in a kind of a funny way? So that's where the backgrounds came in. And that's when the sponsorship logos came into the tops. So I started to look at the references through this book from the Rowler Photography Annual of 2008 that I borrowed from Rafa's library. And all the cycling jersey sponsorships were amazing. So I thought I'd love to do that. I did print in NCAD as my bachelor's degree. So I wanted to make these graphic and make the cycling jersey prints. So what I did is I got all the logos from the spots from the places around Baldor Industrial Estate where my father's business is. And they have been helping me since day one, building me a stand, doing the embroidery for my jumpers. They needed my stuff for my MA collection. So I just put all their sponsorship logos all over the tops and made a graphic from that. So it kind of has like a really lightheartedness thread of cycling, but it's not cycling clothes.
Has your video been very influenced about the actual situation? I mean, you're Irish. I mean, it's all based on Ireland, the video, and of the and all of the how do you say, all the contests of cycling contest. Is it something that really brought out because you missed the fact of not being there and you wanted more to pull out this part of you, or?
To be honest, that's the start of my collections every single time. I reference Ireland
Yeah.
every single time, and
Okay.
very, very seldom in my previous collections that there be any inspiration
Oh,
that doesn't come from Ireland. So I think it's just I love the humor of it, and I think it's something that most people don't actually realize. And I think when you're Irish, you become accustomed to all this funny information that's on this website, RT archives. It's just like it's actually quite funny. So I think just shining a light on that culture. I mean, yeah, I'm definitely homesick, but the backgrounds
I
they're.
didn't mean to that you were homesick. It was just probably a fact of pulling it out more, no, than ever. But
Yeah,
as you said, you
yeah.
had.
But I think I've done that. I think I've actually done that from the start, even maybe subconsciously. But the
Okay.
backdrops were funny though. My
No, no,
dad
but
wanted them. I had to send them home to my dad. He wanted them. They're probably hanging up in the cafe.
is there anything? I mean, if you have to think about what kind of message you wanted to give throughout this video, it was because there's something kind of. I wouldn't say melancholic, but I think it's always interesting to see, what's been in the past because it's all images. I don't know. I think it's 80s or 90s images. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like that.
90s.
Yeah, and I mean, what is because already seeing that it brings you back, and obviously, well, I would. I remember the 90s and everything, but was there like a specific message you wanted to give about when you did this video?
Um, I mean, not really. I like to touch on things quite humorous, and I always like to try and bring that through in my work. And I think it's just a celebration of Irish culture. I just want to put Ireland on the map really with fashion. And I know, excuse me, I know others have before in the past, and I know it definitely has talent, but I don't know. I just think it's just always nice to just keep on cheering and just keep on shining and just bringing something that's recognizable, that someone, you know, there's so much reference to British culture in fashion, you know, and like this street British culture. But like, I don't know, I just think it's nice to just give Ireland a minute to shine and say, hey, look at all this culture references we have from this and that. I think that's
to remember the roots, you know, to remember.
And just shine a light on that, I think.
Okay, no.
A bit humorous. I like to just keep a thread of humor throughout the whole thing and not get too bogged down. I think I have to have a laugh.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you
And
so
have
much,
a good
Sarah.
day.
Bye.
Ciao.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye-bye.